Unit 4, Moving Things, People and Ideas. Chapter 11, Force and Energy Force. A force is defined as a push or a pull on an object. A force happens when two objects interact, when one object does something to the other object. When the interaction stops, the force stops too. If a force is applied in the direction in which the object is moving, it can increase the speed of that moving object. Force can move a stationary object. Force can stop a moving object. Force can decrease the speed of a moving object if the force is applied in the opposite direction to which the object is moving. Force can change the direction of a moving object. Force can change the shape of an object. Types of forces. There are different types of forces in nature. Elastic force. A stretched rubber band regains its original position on being released because of elastic force. Elastic force arises when a body deforms. Gravitational force of gravity. The gravitational or gravity is the force with which all objects in the universe attract each other. Gravitational pull keeps us stuck to the earth, else we would have escaped into deep space. Frictional force. Friction is a force that acts between two objects that are in contact with one another. It slows or stops movement between the two surfaces that are touching. We walk on the ground due to friction. This friction between the ground and feet helps us walk. Muscular force. When we push, pull, or lift something, we apply muscular force. Mechanical force. Most simple machines make use of mechanical force. For example, a pair of scissors use a mechanical force to cut something. Buoyant force. They to push down a block of wood into a trough full of water. You will feel an upward thrust. The upward push of water on a floating object is called buoyant force or upthrust. This force acts on every object, even on you when you enter a swimming pool. Simple machines are tools that make our work easier by reducing the amount of force needed to do the work. Machines can be simple or complex. Simple machines are simple tools. Complex machines have two or more simple machines working together. Some examples of simple machines are lever, inclined plane, wheel and axle, pulley, screw, and wedge. Levers. A lever is a board or bar. It stays on a support, or we can fix it at one location. It can transfer or increase the force that has been applied to it on one end. People use levers to move heavy objects and open things like lid of a box. Fulcrum, F, is the point at which a lever is fixed. Load, L, is the object on which work is being done. Effort, E, is the force being applied. There are three classes or kinds of levers. In each class, the positions of the load, effort, and fulcrum change. In a first class lever, fulcrum is in the center. In a second class lever, the load is in the center. In a third class lever, the effort is in the center. The pulley. It comprises a wheel and a rope. The pulley changes the direction of the force that is applied to one end of the rope. For example, by pulling down on one end of the rope, a person can lift an object attached to the other end. Water is drawn from a well by using a pulley. Cranes use a pulley to lift heavy loads. The inclined plane. It is a slope or a ramp or any slanting surface that is used for moving objects to a higher place. As an example, we can quote that a ramp is an inclined plane. Other examples of inclined plane are ladder, slide, roads up a hill, etc. The wheel and axle A, wheel and axle, is a simple machine with a wheel that turns on the axle. The distance around the wheel is greater than the distance around the axle. Less force is needed to turn the wheel than to turn the axle. We can do work easily with the help of wheel and axle combination. Many machines like grinder, bicycle, and sewing machine have this device. The screw, a screw, is a simple machine which is actually an inclined plane that winds around a rod to form a spiral. Turning a screw produces a force that can push the screw into wood or tighten it against a nut. They are used to raise or lower things. You can find screws in jars, electric bulbs, screw jacks, drilling machines, nut bolts, etc. Energy. Energy is the capacity to do work. If a body has energy, it can do work according to the energy present in it. Energy is everywhere in nature: sunlight, wind, water, plants, and animals. We use energy every day. Different forms of energy. Mechanical energy. Mechanical energy is the energy due to the movement or the position of an object. It is of two types: kinetic energy and potential energy. Moving objects, e.g., a running tiger, flowing water, and wind, have kinetic energy. Energy stored inside an object due to its position, e.g., is a brick kept on the top of a wall, is called potential energy. Hydropower, water energy. Hydropower is one of the oldest source of energy. It makes electricity by using the energy from falling water. Water is stored in huge dams. It is allowed to flow through a turbine. This turbine drives an electricity generator which makes electric power. Wind energy. Wind energy can be used to generate electricity. When the blades of a wind turbine spin, they convert wind energy to electrical energy by means of a generator. Wind turbines can work alone or in a group called a wind farm. Sailboats harness the power of the wind to move them along. Geothermal energy. The name geothermal comes from two Greek words. Geo means earth and thermal means heat. So geothermal energy is heat formed within the earth. We can use the steam and hot water produced inside the earth to heat buildings or generate electricity. Geothermal energy is a renewable energy source because the water is replenished by rainfall and the heat is continuously produced inside the earth. Solar energy. The sun gives light and heat to us, which are of great use to us. So the sun can be used for producing heat and electric power. Solar panels at a solar power station capture the heat and light from the sun and convert it into electricity. Light energy. Sources of light such as the sun, a burning candle, bulb, and tube light give light energy. Electrical energy. Electrical energy is the movement of electrical charges. Electrical charges moving through a wire is called electricity. Electrical energy is used when we light bulbs and tub lights or use any appliance that runs on electricity. Computer, television, washing machine, and music system are some appliances that use electricity. Sound energy. A sound is anything that can be heard. Music, the barking of a dog, the wailing of a siren, and the voice of a friend are all sounds. Sound is produced when an object vibrates and tiny waves of sound vibration travel through air to reach our ears. Heat energy. Heat energy is produced when fuels like kerosene and wood are burnt in the air. The sun is also a source of unlimited energy. Heat energy is used in steam engines, in the generation of electricity using oil, natural gas, coal, etc., and in cooking.